Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to show you how can you use code interpreter feature with semantic kernel. So we will see how the system can generate the Python code, and the same Python code we can use it to plot some graphs. So let's quickly have a look at how we can achieve this particular flow. So for that, first of all, you need to install the semantic kernel, which I have already installed in this virtual environment, and the version I have installed is the latest one as of today. And the second thing which I have installed is matplotlib, because like I said, I will be generating a source code which can plot the bar chart for us. So that's the reason I have installed these two things. And apart from these two, I have also imported these particular packages, or here are the like 5. So make sure that you are importing these, and once everything is here, we can go ahead and start creating the instance of kernel. And once the kernel instance is created, we need to create an instance of an agent. So for that, I would create a variable name agent. As it is an async call, I will be using await here, and the class which we will be using here is OpenAI assistant agent, which is having a create function. And here it is going to take few key parameters. So the first one is we need to associate it with the kernel. So it's the same kernel object which we just created above. Then we need to supply the API key. So API key, this is the variable which I have already defined above. So I'm just reusing that. And the next thing we need to define is the model, which OpenAI model that we are planning to use. So I would say AI model underscore ID, and here I will be supplying GPT-4o-mini. So this is the model which, I'm sorry, it should be O. Okay, so this is the model which I'm using. Then we need to define a unique service ID. So for that, I would say service ID equal, you can just give any name. I would say default service ID. You can give any name over here. Then the last, the few more things are there. The first thing I would write here is the name of the agent. So you need to provide some name to this agent. So I would say drawing tool. Then we need to provide the instruction as well. So for that, you can say instructions equal to, now what we want the system to do, so what this agent to do. So for that, we need to write 1 line or 2 lines of description. So I would say generate the requested charts with, we don't want explanation, we just want the source code which can generate the chart for us. So I'm saying generate the requested charts without providing explanation. So I think this should suffice. If it doesn't work, then we'll try to tweak it, but let's go with the bare minimum one. And the most important property which we need to set here is to enable code interpreter. And this I'm setting it as true. So we are done with all the initial parameters. And the next thing we need is the thread creation. So we know that whenever we are working with agents, the most important thing is to generate the thread ID. So for that, I'm going to again write it as await, and we'll say agent dot create thread. It should be somewhere, yeah, it's here. Okay, now we have the thread. Let's take I will quickly run this first of all and see if everything is all good. Okay, next thing is we need to provide the input. So for input, I have already created the variable over here. So we'll go with this. So this is my input, which is like having few columns. So once we have that input, let's execute this as well. And here I would say await agent dot add chat message. So inside this chat message, we need to provide our thread ID. So for that, I'm saying thread equal to thread ID, and then we need to provide the message. Let's keep it in separate lines so that we can read it. Okay, then we need to provide the message. So message here would be the chat message, so I would say chat message content, and inside this we'll need to define the roles. So here role would be author role and author role dot user. It should come. Okay, I can type it. Okay, and the next parameter is the content. So role and the content is the same how we were doing in our earlier demos. So once these two are defined, I need to put a closing bracket here and just one more line, and I think we are done. So next thing is we need to make a call to our agent. So for that we can say async for message, and inside this I would say agent.invoke. This is going to take few parameters, and that few parameters is nothing but a thread ID. So let's say thread ID, and here we will check if we have something in our message, if something's returned by the agent. So if message dot content, if we have something in message, we'll go ahead and print it out. So we'll say print message dot content. I will quickly execute these cells and see how it works. And if everything is good, then it should give us the source code, which we can use it to create the plot for our data. It's going to take a few seconds over here. So, okay, perfect. So we have some source code. I'm going to copy it as it is, and we'll try to execute in the same notebook. So I've just copied it, and if I'm executing this cell, I have not done any changes, you can see over here. So this is the beautiful graph which came out. Now this graph is like this because that's what one line we have given over here as an instruction. Let me quickly show you that. So here we are saying generate the requested chart without providing any explanation. So it just gave us the source code, and the reason why it is giving us the bar chart is because this is what we have specified in our input. So if you're giving something else, it will generate the code accordingly, and you're good to go ahead and use that code. So I hope you enjoyed watching this, and this is just a small sample, but you can do a lot more than this. But the idea here would be the same, and the most important thing is you need to make sure that you are setting this flag true, which is enable code interpreter. So that's all I have for today, and do let me know in comments whether you find this feature useful or not. Thanks for watching.